Good morning, kids. It is Friday, June 5, 2026, 9:09 in the morning. It's your first day of summer break, I believe. So I hope you guys are off to a good start. Cav just finishing up 6th grade. Fiona, Finn just finishing up 4th grade. It's good stuff. I hope you guys have an absolutely magical summer. Today, continuing the gratitude, continuing on down my list, I get to a gentleman by the name of Nate. Nate's a pretty awesome guy. So, just building off of the series I've been doing here, if you're keeping track on the timeline, we're now into 2024. And I'm in that apartment in Eagan. But it's livable, right? Because of people who helped provide some furnishings. I think yesterday I did a little video on Sofas for Soldiers and Jeff. Those guys took it from being livable to being bona fide comfortable. So that apartment complex though was kind of sketchy. There was a lot of people there who were very low income, fair bit of crime around it. Not the kind of place that you would leave your truck unlocked in the parking lot. Not the kind of place you'd really want to be walking outside, after dark. Unless you're ready to maybe, have to. Well, we'll just leave it at not the kind of place you want to walk around outside after dark. So, in that apartment complex, though, there was a gentleman who I met. He lived on the floor right below me. I was up on the 3rd floor. He was down below me on the 2nd floor. He was probably in his young 50s, mid 50s. Divorced guy. His name was Nate. And I met him at there was a little sports bar about a block away that I would walk to if I wanted to go watch a hockey game or something in the evening, get out and see some human beings, get out of that apartment and stop isolating. I actually met him at that place one time, and we were watching a hockey game together, and come to find out live a floor apart. And he was actually a really decent, normal guy. He'd gone through a divorce, and he was just looking for a cheap place to live, and that's why he moved in there. And so we kind of connected, had some similar sports interests, and he was just a really nice, genuine guy. And as I got to know him over the course of 2024, I had a chance. He had a dog, so he would leave sometimes. He'd go on a fishing trip or hunting for a weekend or something. And I had a chance a couple of times to watch his dog. A really nice dog, little bird dog, little white bird dog, a lot of energy. And so I would get to babysit his dog for a weekend. That was the coolest thing for me, because on those weekends, I had a buddy. I had somebody to take out for walks, to feed, who'd sit and curl up on the couch with me, watch a show with. That was fantastic for me. And it was always such a privilege to get to watch Nate's dog for him. And Nate was always willing to be helpful. And I remember there was a fundraiser we were doing for the Sons of the American Legion. And we were doing a raffle. And it was one where I had like 20 tickets. And they were like $50 a ticket. So, I had to try and sell them to people. So I was a chaplain at this time. So all the officers had like 20 each we had to sell. And that was tough for me, because I don't know 20 people who have $50 to buy a raffle ticket. So I gave Nate a heads up on it. I'm like, hey, we got this raffle going for Sons of the Legion. If you're interested. Nate bought 2 of them. And that was just, wow. What a generous guy. He made a point about how his father had served, and he was honored to help support the Sons of the American Legion. And that was so cool. I thought that was so cool. It was so generous of him. And he tried playing it off. No, you've bought me dinner before. Watching a hockey game on TV. You take care of my pup for me. Like, no big deal. But he didn't have to do that. And then I remember there was a time in 2024, spring, summer 2024, where I gotten pulled over and there was an issue with my driver's license. The records said my driver's license wasn't valid, the police records, but I had the paperwork. I'd already gone to the DMV. It just wasn't in the system. So ultimately, the policeman in Eagan said, well, you're right. So it's not a ticket, but I can't let you drive your truck. So he's like, I can let you go without a ticket, but I can't let you drive your truck. So I said, well, crap. So I had to walk home about 3 miles, and they towed my pickup or my truck. They towed the Black Explorer I've got there. And so then I'm sitting there back in my apartment with no truck, and it's at some towing place, 10, 20 miles away. And I'm thinking, crap, how do I get my truck? And I got to pay like a $300 towing fee, and that's money I don't really have. And, what the heck? So, I had to call the DMV and get the paperwork sorted out. And they're like, oh, yep, it's just not in our system yet, but yeah, we got record, blah, blah, and they updated it and this and that. So then I walked like 7 miles to the DMV and got the updated driver's license from them in person, walked back. But then it was like 20 miles to the impound place where my truck was. And I didn't know a single person in Eagan that I could call except for Nate. And I called Nate. I said, Nate, I don't know what you're doing, but if you're available sometime today, I could really use a big favor. And he's like, yeah, sure. What do you need? Anything? I said, well, my truck is like, I don't know, 20-minute drive away. Wondering if you could give me a ride to go so I can go pick it up. Because I'd already walked a whole ton that day, walked and jogged, and I was just shot. And Nate said, of course. Let me know what time you want to go. And I remember when I hung up the phone from him, thanking him, I just started crying. Because I had nobody in the area to help just give me a ride someplace, except for Nate, and he stepped up. He did it without a second thought. So, to pay forward my gratitude to Nate, I do my best to give guys a ride. I get a chance to do that all the time here at Bravo Zulu House. Just a couple weekends ago, one of the residents here had to go to Walmart to send his family some money or something. I didn't want to go to Walmart. Walmart's like 25 minutes from here. It costs gas. It costs miles on my truck. You know my truck. It's old now. It's still that same truck that I bought when you kids were babies. And, but when somebody has a need like that, like a resident here did, I remember guys like Nate and what they did for me. So, I'm happy to do it now. Even if I don't want to, even if it's inconvenient, even if it's, I have to change my plans a bit, I get to have that opportunity now, thanking a man like Nate. So, anyhow, hope you kids know, if you ever need a ride, your dad will be happy to do it for you, because guys like Nate did it for me. Love you, kids. Hope you have a wonderful start to your summer. Talk soon.